I'm excited to have one half, maybe we'll say the hotter of the Top Shot Hot Boys. I don't know. I don't know if they've done a poll on that yet, if that how we've decided that, but I'm excited to bring, I don't know, we got to get him a jacket now. Is this like 5th time appearance? We've got JE Skeets here. How we doing, man?
What's up? What's up? I don't think I'm the hotter of the hot boys. Trey's
Well,
like 6'5", a glorious beard.
The 6,
Yeah.
it's tough to compete with height.
Yeah, exactly.
It really is. I think that's an unfair advantage, and they should be docked points.
But look, I got Luna joining us here in the background.
See, there we go.
There you
There
go.
we go. Luna gets it. That's extra credit.
Yeah.
I think if my dog left, I thought we had a
Oh.
bandy sighting, but he's like 8 hours. No, thank you.
What's going on?
Yeah, I was gonna say, how are you doing, man? You must be like fired up to be like back in the thick of it. I saw you guys announce all of the stuff that you got coming like for your weekly schedule. You must be pumped to be back.
I am. It doesn't feel like basketball is actually happening though tonight. I mean,
Yeah.
the shows are coming fast and furious from the Classic Factory, but actual real NBA games, it's like I haven't wrapped my head around. Oh yeah, there's like 5 hours of hoops to watch tonight. You know what I mean? That part hasn't sunk in yet, but I'm excited.
Yeah, I think tomorrow when you're back into it and you're like, oh my God, we have like stuff to react to. And Luna also was like, no, I'm not interested.
She's like,
oh,
they're talking basketball. See ya.
Like, no, thank you. Yeah, I one of the questions that I was excited to ask you, and I talked a little bit about with Katie at the beginning. What are you, because like you trying to make content throughout the whole off season. We have like the free agency, which is a lot of fun. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. And then there's a little downtime, and now we're like really in it. What are you excited to no longer have to talk about? Like, is there a storyline that you're like, Jesus Christ, never again?
I mean, yeah, like definitely the Brooklyn Nets, because anytime we talk about them, we have to do the whole thing where it's like, well, they have Durant and Kyrie and Simmons. They could be a championship contender. And then you have to say the other side of your mouth, but this could go horribly bad and they could be a 30-win team and somebody's asking to be traded and Kyrie's like sitting on the court at half court and refuses to move or something, something insane. So it's like, let's play. Let's see how they are. And we'll find out, are they closer to a 40-win team or a 60-win team? And whatever. Like, I just want to see it. Let's stop talking about it. Let's do it.
Right. You know what's so funny too? No one in New York is talking about the Nets. Like and everyone else is outside of New York. Everyone's talking about the Nets. But there's like no, and part of it's probably because the Mets kind of had a playoff run. The Yankees are in the midst of one, and Jalen Brunson and the Knicks. Of course, they're going to talk about the Knicks more. But there is no conversation in the city around Brooklyn right now.
I'm sure a little bit. Oh, part of that. Well, yeah, it's New York. They care more about the Knicks than the Nets. Yeah. There's that. But there is some burnout too, because we just talked about them all summer long. So it's like it's almost been, dare I say, like a quiet week or two for the Brooklyn Nets. It's
true.
Like there's a viral video of Ben Simmons airballing a jump shot at an outdoor playground. It's sort of like, that's it. So that's good, I guess, for them.
It has gotten to the point too. I don't know if you're there. I am starting to feel bad for Ben. Like, I feel like we are now, like it was he was out at the park. They're shooting they're shooting like videos. Like, come on, leave Ben alone. Poor Ben.
Yeah, but that's not going to go away until if the team like obviously exceeds expectations and just come out of the gate hot like they did last year. I always forget the Nets were like the #1 seed in the East for like, I don't know, after 40 games or something like that. Right. It's like completely forgotten. But yeah, he just like finds his groove where, he's putting up whatever he's putting up 12, 9, and 8 or whatever his stat line is. And like, if they win games, then I think people will get off his back a little bit until the postseason. Yeah. But you're right. At a certain point, you get tired of piling on these guys.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Although I am realizing too, I asked you what thing are you excited to stop talking about, and then we spent
we're talking about
10 minutes talking about it.
Yeah,
it's great,
yeah.
great. Yeah. Because I know you're down. You're the Classic Factory located in Atlanta, right? So what's the vibe down there for the little Trey DeJounte experience?
I think they're really pumped up. I think the Hunter extension right at the deadline yesterday caught a lot of people by surprise, including myself. Didn't look like it was going to happen, and then he got 4 for $95. It's basically 4 and $90 and $5 million in incentives, but that's a hell of a deal for a guy that can't really stay on the floor. But they're banking on that he can stay healthy and that he's by far their best perimeter defender. He had some great games in the postseason that I always forgot about too against the Heat because they got waxed. But I think it's weird. Like, Atlanta's a bit of a bandwagon city in terms of their teams. Though there's definitely with Trey as a superstar, you need a star in Atlanta too, and they got that, and they've obviously had some success. And the DeJounte Murray trade was like, whoa, all right, here we go. Like, this is ownership saying, no, we want to win. We want to like get into the postseason and go far. So I think there's some hype. I think it's just the East looks so loaded.
It really
that
does.
It's like we did our tiers today on the podcast, and we had championship contenders, Final Four flirts, we called it, and then playoff locks, and that's where we put the Hawks with like 8 other teams in both conferences, but you know what I mean? So it's like they could be a 4 seed if it all breaks right, or they could be a play-in easily.
Yeah.
So
I'm having a tough time with the East in general with that. Like because I feel like the Hawks are in that category. The Cavs are in that category.
Raptors.
Yeah. Raptors. Yep. I mean, I feel like everybody.
Maybe the Heat. Yeah.
Maybe the Heat. Totally.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like everybody around the Heat got better this year. And I know the Heat fans are going to yell at me, but I don't know if they got better this year. I mean, I guess if Lowry is healthy and Bam doesn't miss as many games as he did last year, then you can use that as the argument as they got better. But yeah, in like Chicago, I mean, I know everyone's bummed out because of the Lonzo thing. I also thought that was a great conversation in yesterday's pod that I think Trey brought it up when he was talking about, he was saying that no one talks about Chicago anymore. And then the conversation around talking about Toronto, I loved, because the thought is that no one talks about Toronto, and then Trey was like, actually, everybody talks about Toronto.
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
Yeah,
but
that continued on today's podcast too when we were doing the tiers. Like, nobody talks about the Bulls, but everybody talks about the Raptors. But then counter is nobody really talks about the Raptors. It's like this, like it just goes in circles. And then I said, you want a team that no one really talks about? It's the Washington Wizards.
That is
no one ever talks about them. And there's a big reason they're not really that good. So, I think the Bulls, they're a tough one to sort of pin down. Yeah, I don't know. Like, definitely a play-in team, I think. Yeah. But then they were elite at the start of last year. That defense caught everybody by surprise. DeRozan couldn't stop hitting game winners, but then it fell off after the injuries and Ball and all that. And he's not. I don't know what to think of the Bulls.
I know. I think it so much relies on, I mean, like, obviously DeMar continuing to do what he did and Levine doing what he did. I mean, like, they need Vooch to step up a little bit more than like they need his shooting. They need his shooting desperately, right? But I think so much is relying on like Io and Patrick Williams, both of them taking jumps, which, I mean, they could. The last time we saw Patrick Williams in the playoffs, right? Didn't he have like a 20 and 10 or something?
He had a big game. He had one big game, I think. I think Trey said, one of our athletic writers, I think it was Slater, said he had Patrick Williams for most improved. That was his pick, which is pretty bold. There's a lot of guys you could pick. But if he makes that jump, then sure, then the Bulls are more of a team that's flirting with the 6 or 7 seed for sure than maybe the 9th or 10th seed.
I think you shouldn't be allowed to bet on the most improved. I think after what because I agree, like Patrick Williams should be in that conversation, but after last year, I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah, he's already like, I know it's silly.
Yeah,
I hate. I mean, I used to go on rants every year when somebody would inevitably bring up a second-year player for most improved. It's like, oh god, like of course they should improve. And we're going to get it this year. Like, you watch, like it could be Barnes, Mobley, Giddey, Green, it goes on and on and on. So there'll be some of that. I just rolled my eyes at that. But the John Morant was it's just a weird win. It was like, we know you're not MVP. Maybe you'll never even be the best player in the league, but here you go. Here's an MIP. Yeah. No, just send him to the All-Star game. That'll do it. Totally. All NBA and All-Star selections. Yeah. He doesn't need an MIP. He barely didn't he get the trophy and then just gave it away to Desmond Bane?
Yeah, he did. Which Desmond handled that great by like posting it. He's like, oh man, like my guy or whatever. I would have been like, absolutely not, dude. Do not give me. I do not want your hand-me-down, your awards you don't want to win. I'll get my own.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's just a weird award when you think about it. It's like sort of a backhanded compliment a little bit. I mean, it's all how you look at it. Yeah. Like, can Randall win another most improved?
Oh, that's good. So I don't think winning 1 is offensive. I do think winning 2 is offensive.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, a couple years ago after Siakam won it, this is like what, 3 or 4 years, 3 years ago, maybe, or something like that. I was trying to make the case in preseason that he could win it again. Because he had like he was a nobody sort of, and then made this jump, and it was like, oh, okay, most improved. He was like a good most improved winner. It sort of made sense.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what if he goes to the next level as an all NBA guy? And it
I like that.
He had like, it was like, I can't remember if that was the year he got off to a great start. I was like, oh, this was a crazy prediction. Maybe it's true, but that off, so
I do think that if it's back to back, it's not offensive. If it's back to back, that's like an incredible achievement.
Yeah.
But if you want it like 3 years in between, it's probably not great. Probably had some fall.
Well, there was wasn't there like most improved for Curry in one of his MVP years. Remember, they're like,
yeah,
because like, well, he was MVP, and then he had an even better year. And I was like, well, he's improved.
Yeah,
I was like, well, no, I just give him most improved or most valuable again. Don't give him most improved. I remember that.
Speaking of Curry, do you think is this Draymond situation also going to eventually make the list of the Nets of like, I'll be happy to not talk about this anymore?
No, we didn't have to talk about it that long. Good timing. If you're going to punch a teammate, do it, a week before preseason, a week before the guy signs a $140 million deal. No, I said on today's show, though, I'm a little skeptical. And I say this as like sort of the NBA media, maybe even fans in general, that a lot of us, and I don't want to, say this for everybody, because I know there's some like outliers, but like the 4 teams that are like, quote unquote, had a weird offseason or turmoil. Celtics losing Udoka, their head coach. The Suns, what happened in the postseason at the end, and then Ayton not talking to Williams, Crowder wanting out, so that's sort of weird. Their vibes are off. The Nets, obviously, because of all the shit. And then, what's up,
we get a mobile tray.
Yeah, and then what's the 4th team I'm forgetting? Oh, the Warriors with the Draymond Green and Jordan Poole punch. It's like we're all sort of like, those teams will all be fine.
Yeah.
It's like they'll be like 55 wins, all 4 of them or whatever. Like they'll be good. That can't be the case. Like
I totally
some
agree.
of this stuff has to matter at least for 1 or 2 of these teams, and we'll find out which one. But yeah, TK, what's going on, man?
I'm sitting in the parking lot of a grocery store because I forgot stuff here, but I had to tap in to say hi. And now that I'm seeing the background, I feel like I should get some crazy rants off. Guy wearing shiny glasses sitting in a car.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, coaching's the biggest thing in the NBA. Celtics are screwed.
There you go.
They lost their coach from an Ime to a Joe. That's a yes to a no.
Wow. No, I need to know, was this workshopped? Was this did you put the sunglasses on the way and then you were like, oh, this is good. I got bits.
Yeah, he told me he was going to jump on 13 minutes late and make sure I set him up for the Celtics line.
No. I thought maybe you guys would want to pop a pack, see what I got in here.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, this is a big one. Big pull.
Oh.
Big pull. 4 ears of corn.
Oh,
what else?
There you go. That's good.
What's the Publix roadmap look like?
Oh, this is looking all right. Ground beef.
Oh, nice. That's got a badge on it, right? And that's got one of the badges.
Yep. This is a grass-fed badge.
It's rare. It's definitely rare.
Oh! Oh! I didn't think I was gonna see this.
What'd you get?
Bacon?
Wow.
Oh, wait. I think we got a drop for
Hit
that.
the drop.
Do we still have that drop? That's such an old school. Oh, yes, we do. I forgot how long that video
That's
was.
been a long time.
Yeah, that has. There it is.
Nice.
Bacon.
I can't believe it. None of these bits were workshopped, and they were all bangers.
They were all bangers.
Hey, Trey, are you going to burn that bacon?
Probably on accident. A little too hot.
No, you got to burn the moment. You got to burn the bacon to get more products from Publix.
All right, I think I got 8 slices. I'll commit to burning one.
That's good. There we go. There we go. And you get to that gets
All
you.
right, have a great NBA season. I gotta go do stuff.
Thanks for popping in, man.
Bye.
See ya.
Yeah, what's he having? Corn? I guess, just maybe some burgers. Burgers and corn, I assume. Bacon on the burger. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Wow, that was great. Great appearance. Great shades. I did not expect the shades. It was excellent work. Excellent work. But yeah, back to what you were saying. I totally agree. This stuff has to matter. Like, I feel like Boston freaked out for a week and they were like, oh, you know what, though? It's probably fine. Yeah. I'm like, no, it's not. That is a setback. And like also the Gallo injury and the Robert Williams thing. Like, I think all of that stuff matters. I'm sure they'll still be fine as it like gets into the playoffs and they'll still be a tough out. But I mean, that as a Celtics fan, all of that bummed me out for a bunch of reasons, because it also still feels, and we don't have to talk about it too much, it still feels incredibly vague. Like, I feel like we still don't really have a ton of information, which is, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It feels like it's a disservice to the people involved in it in a way, because it's either, the take is like, oh, it's going to be pretty bad if they're not telling us, or it's like, oh, they're not telling us because it's not that bad. And I don't know. It's a bizarre situation.
No, it's for sure. It feels like they're just like, hey, everybody, just move on. Forget about this.
Like,
that's just like the classic PR move. Just
right.
Like, don't worry about the cycle. The cycle will be over this in a couple of weeks, and it is. Yeah.
Yeah, like no one was happier about the Draymond Jordan Poole situation than like the Celtics organization. They're like, oh, absolutely, go talk about that for a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. So I just feel like one, two, maybe three of those four teams, it doesn't add up that they're just going to still be really, really good teams.
Yeah.
So we'll see though. Maybe
we were talking about it with Harrison Fagan a little bit too before. The Suns thing is so funny. I just love the idea. There's like, oh yeah, we just didn't talk to each other. Like, we just don't talk. I'm like, that feels bad.
I know, but we debated them today. We were like, are they a championship contender? Or are they a Final Four team? Are they just a playoff lock? We really debated that one, because we're like, they have this weird Ayton thing. The Crowder, okay, he's going to be moved for what? We'll find out. But it's like, they still have a really damn good team. They won 64 games last year.
Right.
Like that. Like,
that's a lot.
If you win 65 plus, you're like elite.
Right.
Teams in NBA history win that. Like, that is a lot of a high percentage. So 64 is no joke. And you still got, you got your leaders in Monty Williams and Chris Paul. Booker's like an all NBA guard. And then Bridges is like one of the best defensive wing players in the league. Cam Johnson should get better. So it's like, they should win 50 in their sleep, it feels like. But I don't know. Basketball is a fickle sport, right? Where if you're not going to bat for each other,
you're right. And it just feels like everybody got so good, like so much better in the offseason. I know we were talking about that with the East, but same thing with the West. Like, feels like everybody just got a little bit better. And if you didn't continue to progress, it's going to be, especially if you already got like weird chemistry shit. Like, if that's already baked in, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I keep saying this, but the range of outcomes are just so wide for a lot of these teams, where if you told me the Suns were like, oh yeah, Suns 2 seed or Suns 7 seed, I'd like believe both of those.
Yeah, I think not a small part, a big part of it is we had 3 teams in the Wolves, the Hawks, and the Cavs who were like, they were all good teams last year, not great teams, especially in the Hawks case, like they were a step even below. But they make these big moves and they all add these all-star level guys. And it's like, all right, so now what do we do with them? Like one of those 3 teams is probably going to have the same record as they had last year. Like, one of them,
they have to.
It's like unlikely all 3 of them will pop to like 50 win plus teams, right? So it's strange to think that is going to happen. Like, one of them's like, we made this big splashy move, all these picks, all these players. And it's like, oh, we basically have the same record and we made it to the same level.
Right.
It's going to happen.
Yeah. I wanted to one other thing I wanted to get before I got you out of here, because I know you guys are all doing so much, so I didn't want to take too much of your time. Because one half of the Top Shot Hot Boys, you can check them over on the No Dunks channel, popping packs occasionally. Yeah. Who do you think is going to give us the moment that people are most excited about this year?
Oh, wow. Okay. I mean, look, I think the short list has to include John Moran. Like, he did something in the preseason game that I bet Austin Kent was like trying to like, hey, we got to make a moment out of this preseason. Like, Austin, we got too many moments, man. He's like, we got to make it a moment. I'm talking about the one like where he goes behind the back, like so smooth in traffic, and then finishes.
For him to go from like that fluid, smooth behind the back, and then to throw it down with how much power he had on that, I was like, man. God,
it's awesome. So Jaw's on the list. Anthony Edwards has got to be on the list. He's going to catch somebody. Giannis is always like he could jump over somebody. So, I know he's got a million moments. I'm trying to think of like Jalen Green could catch somebody
Yeah.
at the rim. I'm trying to just like super explosive athletes. Like those are the best ones. But yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I'm trying to
Yeah, I
think
like the Jalen
which
Green
one.
call's fun. I like that. We saw
Yeah,
a couple of highlights from him in the preseason. Also, Thomas is reminding us that Zion's back. That is true. We do get
Zion's
some
back.
Zion.
When does he dunk on somebody though?
That's true.
I went on a rant about this before he got injured like years ago. I was like, he's awesome. He's a freak. I want to make
Yeah.
that very clear. But he actually doesn't dunk on guys.
That's true.
Like, I mean, he can dunk. We know that.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen him in the warm-up lines. You've seen him in some game situations, obviously college and a little bit in the pro. But he doesn't really like hammer it on somebody. Maybe that'll be the moment this year. Maybe he'll destroy somebody.
I've never thought about that. That is a great take. Like if we get a big time Zion moment, it's probably a block, right?
Probably. Yeah. I mean, maybe a putback like that could happen. I could see that being timed right. But like he almost is so powerful that he'll just like, if he bodies the guy goes flying and then he dunks it or then lays it in or whatever. But to like really meet a shot blocker at the rim, I mean, it hasn't happened. It just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
So
I love this take.
It's
That's
not
a
high
great
school,
take.
where he was doing it, but
an incredible photo that surfaced on the internet of the kid that he
point at me. That would be me. I would be you. We'd be that kid.
Same.
Yeah.
Also, MC Screwdriver saying Seth Curry. This is the most amount of hopium. I think Seth Curry to be the moment that you would want the most.
Wow.
I mean, that is. I like shooting a lot, but I don't know.
Yeah, I was confused by just a straight up Seth Curry. I was like, what is he talking about? Did Zion dunk on Seth Curry? Okay, I don't remember
all
that.
Right. Maybe I should have given him a little credit. Maybe that's what he's talking about.
I don't remember it if he did.
Or I love the idea that he's like, no, the only moments I'm collecting this year are 7th man of the year, Seth Curry.
Hey, he's already injured, which sucks.
I know that.
Seth is going to put Zion on a poster. Wow, that'd be a moment.
There we go, Jeb. There we go, Jeb.
There you go.
Oh yeah, and a lot of rookies too. I feel like I wouldn't count rookies as I feel like everybody wants the rookies. But
yeah.
But Skeets, listen, man, thanks so much for taking time. I always appreciate you coming on and being willing to do this. You're very generous with your time.
I try, especially during the off season. I love it. I catch so much team hold, but it becomes a little more difficult for me to watch as much and to consume as much. But I'll try my best. I'll have to jump back on. We'll have you on the Top Show Hot Boys. We'll rip some packs or something like that. There we go. They still do packs, right?
They still do packs. Although I think less though. We're gonna get less packs now.
Yeah. Hey, look, I can't complain about that.
Nope.
It all makes sense. But
I've decided in this new season I'm going to complain less just in general. So that
jeez, don't do that. Your numbers are going to tank.
I know.
Complain more.
You're gonna
followers up. Get that engagement.
Too many angry DMs. Too many.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
I'm gonna drop. I mean, I feel like anyone watching this already is poking around in the No Dunks universe, but I just dropped the link in the chat you can go subscribe to their YouTube over there. You can also find it in our show notes if you need to. Anything else we need to pump up, Skeets?
No, I'm jumping on a bunch of streams today. The Athletic NBA show, they're doing like something similar to you. I think they start a little bit later. So we'll be jumping on that about 3:45. I think Tass and I will be. I'm going to go back to the Classic Factory actually for that. And then tonight at 6:45, are you still going at that time? You probably are. Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you betcha. That's okay. You can take some of the audience.
Well, if you tire from this incredible marathon stream, at 6:45, No Dunks in the No Dunks YouTube channel, we're gonna do just like a pregame stream, just like
awesome.
Really like just talking with the people, everybody in the stream team, just getting ready for the Sixers Celtics and whatever else thoughts are on our mind, and then otherwise daily 10 a.m. Eastern talking about the night's games, big storylines, and all that.
Nice. Are you guys are you messing around with playback a little bit this year?
Yeah, Tass dabbled in it for a baseball game, and there is some plans to do some NBA games for sure.
Nice.
It's so tough, right? Like I jumped on one of yours once, and it's just like it's a mad commitment of time. Like I think maybe the way to do it is like fourth quarters or halves or something. Like it's a little more digestible, I think.
Yeah, well, one thing I tried, and I'm gonna try with the NBA too this year, but I did it with football a couple of times. Is we'll do like the first quarter and a half.
Yep.
And then I kind of just like leave the stream, let it go. So like you can watch it still and everybody can hang out, and then like come back for the fourth quarter if we have anything wild happening. Cause you're right. When we did that Monday night game that we did, that was a huge time commitment, which I think you were there for this when we compared Donovan Mitchell to Russ Wilson. Cause it was like,
yeah.
So Harrison Fagan just made that comparison a second ago, like right before you came on.
Wow.
And I'm like, yes, let's get that into the zeitgeist. I'm ready for this.
Yeah. I was asking questions for sure about Russell Wilson because I don't know a ton about the NFL. Obviously, sort of follow it just loosely. Yeah. That's right. That was that stream, but it is fun. The playback is awesome. Like it's a cool platform. So yeah, that's the plan. We'll do that. I think we might try and do more like, big games, buzzer beaters, whatever, and jump on YouTube and sort of do immediate reactions.
Oh, I love that.
Which always
you guys are doing that a little bit with the playoffs too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That was working well. We were doing sort of weekend shows. So just like shorter version shows, maybe that don't even turn into podcasts. It's just lives on YouTube. So just trying to do it all, man.
Hey, you're grinding. You're grinding.
Yeah.
I love it.
As are you. I'm not doing an 8-hour stream today. So
it's because you are a little bit smarter than I am, I think. I'm also going to be in your neck of the woods tomorrow. I think I'm coming down for the Hawks game.
To Atlanta?
Yeah, I did the Atlanta Hawks captain, bringing Team Hold to the event.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I know.
Why are you telling me less than? Well, I guess you get 24-hour notice here.
Well,
okay.
I found out yesterday. So
okay.
It was pretty quick.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll see you around.
So you're going to the Hawks game?
Yeah, going to the Hawks game. They're doing an event. I'm blanking on the name. Some bar and grill in Atlanta, right across
Hudson Bar and Grill. Maybe,
yes.
Yeah.
So they're doing an event there that I'm gonna make a little content for, and then head over to see my boy DeJounte.
Okay. Well, hey.
See you around.
Let me know offline what time you might be there. I'll see if I can pop down and say hi to everybody. Oh, that's cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Utility, man.
Utility, dude. It's all worth it. Our bags are fine.
It's absolutely worth it. All right, man. Take care.
All right. Thanks again for coming on, man.